Hello, everybody. This is my presentation on web accessibility. In summary, I might not read all of this, but in summary, web accessibility helps those who are impaired access web tools to help the user overcome barriers or enable them to buy things on a website or, you know, watch a video without hearing the audio. There's many different types of accessibility. There are other reasons for making a website accessible, but the main reason is to make it accessible for everyone. What is web accessibility? Web accessibility encompasses all disability that affects the that affects access to the web, including auditory, cognitive, neurological, physical, speech, and visual. So what web accessibility is enabling all of these people that have these disabilities be able to access the content on your website. So if you had a video, it would be added captions to the video. If you had a cognitive person that needs to digest information on a website, is to make everything easily accessible to them and designed easily. So that's why a lot of websites will have the same layout or similar layouts to a lot of websites. So they always have the same layout and they never really change that. And that's for those people so that they will only have to learn it once and just keep going. Neurological for people that have, you know, epilepsy, if they see flashing or um, flashing lights or anything, they can those things could cause them a seizure. And then um, physical problems. There's ways for us to access website or content using just the keyboard. So if you didn't have a hand to move your mouse around like this, then you would basically be able to still have access to the website by just using your keyboard. And then speech, um, for those who are visually impaired or speech impaired, things can help them read and digest the information. For those who are blind, there is ways for them to get a keyboard that tells them exactly what's on the website. We'll go into detail um, more into that. Other reasons or other benefits for having your website more accessible. Uh, People on their cell phones, smartwatches, smart TVs, older people who, have a hard time reading or seeing, and people using a slow internet connection, older computer system, like old hardware, older software. What if they're using like Windows XP or a Linux-based system? So accessibility will help all of these problems go away. So I call them problems because a mobile phone has a different view, as we all know, because we had to do that for our assignment. But it has a different view. It's a very much a smaller view. And then people with older hardware, they can't load because their random access memory or the RAM is so small that it's hard for them to load web pages. So here is how we can make our website accessible. Page title. Make sure it's these are interactive links. I'm going to post these. They go to the W3 website, and that will benefit all of us if you want to learn more information. But the page title, make sure it's descriptive, because somebody that can't see the website, the audio description that's plugged into their headset will first start by reading what that page title is. The image alt or alt text. I'll show you an example of this in a minute, so we're going to skip that. Good headings, contrast ratio, color, for the people that are colorblind. Resize the text so it's bigger, keyboard access, and visual focus. So we talked about that, make it so that people can type in to your website. And I don't really know how to do that, but I will go over the things that we can do now. Forms, labels, and errors. So if you had a JavaScript program, maybe have an error description whenever there's an error, so that way it will tell somebody that they're typing in the wrong thing. Moving, flashing, or blinking content, have a way to disable that or try to avoid those things altogether. And, media, video, audio alternatives. So I have captions. I'll show that in a minute too. And then basic structure check. So that's basically all of this, right? And of course, I'll go get into this, but these are the websites I pulled all this information from. But let us show you. Yeah, that's the website. Let's show you. So this is an example of the captions. Captions are a way for people that can't hear. So I muted it. So if you couldn't hear this beautiful song, you can then read it. And for those who even want to go further, sometimes the church, this is a church website, Brigham Young University Devotional, President Nelson, the last one. Sometimes they'll have they have a whole different channel that shows somebody signing the whole time. I think that's amazing. And then Google. Google's a great example. So if just by typing in something, you'll have an audio description that says bear. You can learn to pronounce it. You can read all this information, but also you can see right here, if we could look at this image, if you couldn't see that image, it says giant panda. If you couldn't read that, let's say if that wasn't there. The image itself says giant panda. And I'll go into how to do that in a second. So this is that was the easy checks already. We already went through that. So this is the current website I'm using. Let me turn off this. I was going to show you that. This is the current website I'm using. This is my developed project, right? This is the last one we did. All of my images do not have an alternate explanation or alternate text right here. It illustrates the picture, right? So what I'm going to do is going to show you how to change that. You could change it in here, but it's best to do it through your code, through your code. What is it called? The code program that we all have, Visual Code Studio. But I'll show you just in this body of text so you guys can see it actually happen. So you're going to go into body. Going to go into this might be painful for my teacher to watch, right? So right now I have a map image on the bottom. Now, right here it has that link right there. That's the proper one. And you see, I have this alt text already put in, but it's not very descriptive. It just says alternate text is that descriptive text that somebody will be able to use to describe. So all you have to do is, put it in within your image, image caption or image. What is this called? I can't think of it right now. But basically, you put it within this image area. So you got your source, you got your ID if you're trying to, format it using CSS. And then right behind your source, right behind that quotation, you can add alt and then quotation. So alt equals quotation, and I'm going to type in, I wonder if I can interact. Yep, okay. I'm going to type in location map, if I could spell it right. location map. Okay. And that is going to add, that. So thank goodness we have developer tools. So we could see right here, you could display the alt attributes. The developer tools is going to help all of us make the whole website easily accessible. So I'll go into a little bit into this just because we're already in here. So disable images. This would be as if one of our images was flashing, right? Then that would disable it. It's not going to disable this current image. But let's display the alt images. So now that I put that in, whenever somebody's going to have an audio description, it's going to say location map, or if I want to be better, I would probably say location of BYU, if I could type it right. Okay, if I could spell that right too. Oh my goodness. Again, UI. Location of BYU. Map. Okay. So that is my presentation. So to recap, a lot of these things, if I could display this once again right there. Boom. Okay. A lot of web accessibility is going to cover everything that these people or the disabled people need to access the website. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys understood everything I was talking about, and hopefully you have a great day. Thank you. Bye.